How bad do you really want it? How bad you want it, huh? You're gonna lose all of the materialistic things you have. How focused can you be? You're gonna lose your job, and people who you thought will help you won't be there for you. How positive can you be now?
The greatest opportunities require the most grit. If you want more from life, be prepared to pay for it.
I wish I could tell you I just woke up one day and I just made up my mind to live a life full of joy. That's not what happened. I had to open the closet. That closet that I had been stuffing pain and fear and failure and depression in my whole life. I had to open up that closet. I had to stare it all dead in the face. I had to cry. I had to go half crazy. I had to embrace that trauma and accept the darkness. The shift is being willing to die to whatever we were before the pain to birth the person that we're becoming.
And you got to believe even if there's no reason to believe. When you see those things that you've been working on just crumble in your face, you still got to believe. When friends who should be a source of strength and encouragement, relatives who should be there to inspire you and motivate you and tell you you can't do it, you still got to believe. Oh, in those moments in the middle of the night when doubts start creeping in your mind and you wonder whether or not you have what it takes, and sometimes you wonder if you're going crazy and you don't know if the clock is going to run out before you can live up to your dream, you still got to believe. With no money in your pocket and you don't know how you're going to make it, you know your paycheck's gone before you get, you still got to believe. Sometimes feeling lonely and crying and feel like your back is pressed up against the wall. You got to believe. You want something? You make up your mind. I'm making up my mind. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to do it. You got to talk to yourself sometimes. You hear me? You got to talk to yourself. And yes, I was scared. And yes, it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. And you get more no's than you do yes. But when you hold out, things will begin to happen. You won't even understand how. But you got to make up your mind that you deserve it, that you want it, and won't do without it. You've got to make up your mind that whatever it takes, we know there's no free lunch in life. Whatever it takes, I'm going to do it so I can get it. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Oh, no, it's not going to be easy. Some people say, well, it's hard. If it's hard, then do it hard.
You have an unconquerable soul. You can stand up inside of yourself. You've got to learn to stand up to yourself inside yourself and short circuit, override that conversation that's always going on. 85% of what that conversation will tell you is negative. It will tell you you're tired when you really are not tired. It will tell you you can't do it. It will fill you with fear. So you've got to watch that conversation. And when you find it going on, you've got to stand up to it and say, shut up! I'm going to do this anyhow. I'm afraid, but I'm afraid not to do it. And I'm not going to let you stop me.
You need to be aggressive. You need to be demanding. You need to be in control. You need to be decisive. You can't tell me no. I work too hard. I get up too early. I stay up too late. You can't tell me no. Play your hand, doggone. Play your hand. You are alive. Stop crying about your hand and stop wishing you had another one. Play your hand. You got it going on. You don't. You can do it. I can because I have the ability to do it. I got what it takes. I will because I'm strong and I can overcome any obstacle. I must, because they count on me. I dare you to find the strength. I dare you to stand up and show them that there's no stopping you.
They asked Thomas Edison, say, how did you continue to go on? How did you motivate yourself after failing over 10,000 times and inventing the light bulb? He said, I didn't fail 10,000 times. I found 10,000 ways that did not work. You know, you're here today, you're gone today. You can't get out of life alive, so start living it with a sense of urgency and live it on your terms. You don't know what you can't do.
Don't let this negative world get to you. Don't let it win.
If you develop yourself, if you prepare yourself, there's a great deal of negativity out here in this world. But you have got to begin to insulate yourself mentally and don't allow it to penetrate your shield. You've got to learn how to exist in the world and not allow the world to exist in you.
It's a difference between being a thermometer and being a thermostat. A lot of people are thermometers. They fluctuate with life. Things are going well, they feel good and they're positive. They have a yes I can attitude. Things don't go well, now they're depressed. But then when you are a thermostat, you don't let the circumstances determine you. You go into a negative situation, you'll make it positive. You must be patient, persistent, and positive no matter what. Because when you are negative, you're sending out negative energy and you're blocking your good. Wherever you are in life, you've got comeback power. I don't care how low you are. I don't care what you have done. I don't care what you have experienced. I don't care how devastated your life might appear to be, the shambles it might be in. There's a power in you that can enable you to be stronger and better than anything that's out here. So you got to prepare yourself. You've got to develop yourself. You've got to practice. You've got to work. You've got to do your homework. You've got to do your research. And competency builds confidence. And confidence feeds into competency. The better you become, the more confident you feel. And the more confident you feel, the better you want to become. You realize that you have no ceiling, that you can better whatever you've done so far. You can go beyond that.
We gotta look our trauma in the face. We gotta embrace the pain and the darkness and allow it to mold us. The dark times are when we build higher, dream harder, push further, love deeper. We gotta become something new. You take those terrible events in your life and you create a new story of triumph.
If you resolve within yourself that you want now to build a new life for yourself, you want your life to go in another direction, you now want to begin to manifest your greatness and call on the creative energies within you to help you to create a new future for yourself, that you will give your total being, every ounce in you, whatever has to be done, you will do whatever is required, and if that's not enough, you will do some more. And if you resolve that, I say to you that the universe is on your side. I say to you, some doors will open to you. If you develop that sense of purpose with your life,
To be great, all you gotta do is just a little bit more than the next person is willing to do. And if you're willing to execute just a little bit more, your percentage, if you look at Michael Jordan when he played, he made millions. And if you looked at how many points he scored, it was like 29, and the next guy was like 27, 28. What does that mean? Michael Jordan just made one more basket than the average player in the NBA, and that one more basket made him a millionaire. And I'm telling you, you're not where you want to be financially. You're not where you want to be in your personal life. And it's not going to take 20 shots. For some of you, it's one more shot. For some of you, it's two more shots. And you have not given yourself enough credit to say, I just need to get up a half hour earlier and my whole life will change. I just need to work 1 hour longer. I need to stop hitting that snooze button.
Turn your damn TV off. Turn your phone off a lot too. It's such a convenient escape from the work. It's such a convenient escape from our obsessions. Can you get laser obsessively focused almost to its exclusivity for an extended period of time? I'm talking about a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, even a decade towards something you want so badly you want it like oxygen. It's like you want it like you want to eat. You want it like you want to live. Are you extendedly laser focused on it, or do you get distracted easily?
If you have diluted focus, you get diluted results.
What happens when you hit a tree 1,000 times in 1,000 different spots? Absolutely nothing. But what happens when you hit the tree in the same spot 1,000 times, day after day after day? It does not matter how big that tree is, you gonna bring it down. If you wanna be successful, if you wanna dominate in the area, you gotta let everything go but that thing you pursuing. You can't chase two rabbits and catch both of them. So you put your attention on one and go after it.
It's not through diversification, it's through concentration. You gotta go all in on the thing.
You say you want to be great. You say you want to get to the next level. You say you want to be dominant. You say you want a promotion. You say you want to start your own business. You can talk it all day. You talk entirely too much about your dream. You talk too much about your goals. You just talk. We don't need all that talking. We need execution. It's not about talking. It's about doing. Shut up. Go to work and show me. Show me what you got. Show me. You're wasting time from the grind. Just shut up and grind and let your grind speak for you. And you gotta get to a point where you are so locked in, you are so centered that you don't hear anything around you. All you hear is the dream saying, let's go, E.T., E.T., let's go. E.T., come on. One more class, E.T., one more embarrassment, E.T., one more hour, E.T., push, E.T., push, E.T., push.
Don't stop.
Narrow your focus to one idea and make it work.
Stay focused on the goal.
Stay focused, stay committed, not the shallow commitment, not the commitment that's predicated upon external factors, the commitment that says, can I stay true to what I said I would do long after the mood that I've set it in has left?
Right now, make the decision that any price is worth it for you to make your family proud of you, for you to make your dream happen. Stop negotiating the price. This negotiation you keep doing in your mind. Is this really where I'm supposed to be? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Steals all your energy. It steals your focus. Successful people and wealthy people have a subtle distinction. They don't look at price. They look at worth. Is this worth it? If you're constantly looking at the price tag, you'll eventually relent. You'll eventually give in. Stop negotiating the price. It's a freeing experience to totally commit. When you totally commit to a business, to your fitness, it's a freeing, powerful. Can you do that? The people around you always say, it's costing too much. And you go, maybe it's costing too much. You gotta start going, no, it's worth it. On the other side of that suffering, on the other side of that sacrifice, on the other side of that laser focus is your dream.
All that you're going through in the process is preparing you to make the dream become a reality.
It's a long grind, and it's totally worth it because it's not about where you get, it's about who you become in the process of getting there. The things you'd be most proud of is the fact that you lasted, is the fact that you got up after you quit, is the fact that you go, you know what, I did quit, but I'm getting back. I innovated, I pivoted, I improved, I grew, I fought, I clawed, I competed, I won.
It's all you. You tell yourself all these lies, reasons, justifications to why you're not winning in life. I'm too tired. I need to rest. I don't have the right gear. I don't have enough money. I don't have time. Something else is more important. The day you'll start to actually make changes in your life to move forward is the day you acknowledge that all those excuses are bullshit. They're all fabricated lies to make you feel better about taking the easy road.
And when you take the easy road, it'll be more comfortable. It'll make you feel warm and safe and not too stressed, but only in the short term. Long term, it'll create a nightmare. Things will begin to fall apart. But if you decide that you are willing to deal with those tedious, annoying, and hard tasks today that you know needs to be done, you start paving a road to a life that will be smooth in the long term.
Doing what's easy makes life hard, but doing what's hard makes life easy. Stop taking the easy approach to everything. Your life, your tasks, your goals, your dreams will be so much sweeter when you do it the harder way. The way you know you're capable of doing, to the very best of your ability.
In order to do that, you've got to start fighting back against all those weak thoughts that creep up in your brain when you're feeling tired or lazy or just sick of the grind. You gotta shut that down. You gotta tell it to go away. And replace those thoughts with the thought of what you're gonna achieve from getting this task done, getting this project completed.
You gotta take ownership back over your brain. Stop letting the weak in your head own you. They don't own you, you own you. You get that weakness to shut, and you do that through execution. Execute on your mission every day, whether you feel like it or not.
The decisions you make every single day determine the way you are physically and mentally. When your alarm goes off in the morning, do you roll over and sleep more, or get up and start working? When you see that your room needs cleaning, do you tell yourself you'll do it tomorrow, or do you get started on cleaning up? Because no one grows from sitting on the damn couch, from slacking off, from taking that path of least resistance, that downhill path.
Whenever you run into something that you gotta do that's hard, shut down your feelings about it, shut down any evaluation of it, deciding if you'll do it or not, and just go get it done.
Your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. It can lift you up to the peaks of Everest or drag you down to the darkest pits of hell. The trick is to grab the reins and steer this wild beast where you want it to go, not just wherever it feels like wandering. No, you are the director. You are the writer. You determine the outcomes for you.
You're not destined to be whatever you are right now. You've got the power to mold, shape, and redefine who you are. but it takes discipline. It's about waging war on those sneaky doubts and lazy habits lurking in your mind. Every day you fight to improve. You fight to push past the resistance. You fight to tackle the hard shit head on. And every time you conquer these challenges, you're not just completing tasks. You're building an ironclad belief in yourself, your vision, your purpose on this planet.
That inner voice that keeps telling you that you're not good enough, that you can't do it, that it's too hard, that voice is a liar. You gotta call it out. Every time it whispers some defeatist crap, you shut it down with a not today.
Your comfort zone is a death trap. It's where dreams go to rot and die. Every time you face something hard and your instinct is to back off, that's the moment you need to double down. You gotta teach your mind to crave that resistance, to get off on the challenge.
Start by setting goals that scare the lit out of you. I'm talking about goals that make you question your own sanity. Why? Because when you reach for the highest, it forces your brain to stretch, to grow, to adapt.
You've got to establish a routine that's non-negotiable, creating habits of daily execution and disciplined action. It's about a commitment, committing 100% to your goals and dreams. Whether it's waking up at the crack of dawn, hitting the gym when your body screams no, or grinding through a project that feels like mental torture, you do it. No excuses, no mental debates, no mercy.
You need to wake up each day with the hunger of someone who's never tasted success. Regardless of yesterday's victories, forget about how far you've come right now and focus on what you can be. If you really tried your hardest, what can you become if you worked as hard as you could? What can you become if you impose real discipline in your life right now? You gotta wake up every single day with that mentality and then do everything you possibly can to go find out.
You got to be ruthless with yourself. When you feel like procrastinating, that's your cue to double your efforts. The moment you start feeling cozy and content with good enough, that's when you need to shock your system. Push harder, aim higher. This is not about being a merciless tyrant to yourself. It's about recognizing that true growth, real transformation happens only when you're out on the edge, facing your fears, pushing for the impossible. It's in this space, this uncomfortable, unnerving zone, that greatness is born and legends are made.
One of the biggest contradictions of massive success is when people go to their moms, their dads, their brother, sister, boyfriend, girlfriend, they say, listen, one day the world's gonna know who I am. One day I will have a Ferrari, the Lambo, the Rolls, the Bentley, the big house, the cars, the backyard with the big swimming pool and an elevator. I'm gonna put the biggest parties. I'm gonna be a millionaire one day. Yet, instead of staying at the office on Friday night, you call your friends and you go party. Instead of waking up Saturday morning to go to the gym, you sleep until 10 o'clock. Instead of reading the book on Sundays, you kick back and watch movies all day long. The reality is very simple. Those who win big, they do four things right. They sleep, sweat, grind, repeat. And they do it over and over and over again until their dreams become a reality.
At the end of your feelings is possibly nothing. But at the end of your principle is a promise. And some of you are where you are. If you could be real with yourself, you have gotten yourself in some mess because of your feelings. We are losing control. And it's time for those of you in this room to take control. You've held up your someday. Either you didn't get the right information or you got it, you didn't use it, you're not getting up early enough. I don't know what you're doing. But when you leave, all I want for you is to live your someday. No more playing after today. And here's the crazy part. All you gotta do is look in the mirror. All you gotta do is deal with yourself, and then we're gonna get to a whole other level.
Because the only one that is stopping you is you.
I need you to take control over every single area, and then someday gonna be your day.
Excuses are for weak people. If you're gonna make it happen, get your ass up and get to work.
No more excuses. No more, I'll start tomorrow. No more, just this once. No more accepting the shortfalls of my own will. No more taking the easy road. No more waiting for the perfect moment. And no more indecision and no more lies. No more weakness. Now is the time for strength. And through strength and through will and through unwavering discipline, I will become who I want to be.
Suffocate your bullshit excuses and go do something.
Stop running from it and run to it. Stop telling me what you're going through. The greats, they get to it, they go through it. And the harder it is, the better. Make it work. Let's go.
Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards, does that and that ain't you. You're better than that.
I'm trying to tell you, you can win. You can win. Despite the circumstance, you can win. Despite the adversity, you can win. Despite the situation, you can win. Despite how much money you got in your bank, you can win. Despite the fact if your parents in your life or not, you can win. Despite the fact that you started behind, you can win. You can pull it off. No excuses. No more complaining. No more giving up. What's that thing that's gonna pump you up and get you over that hill? What's gonna pump you up and get you over that mountain? What's gonna pump you up and get you past that disease? What's gonna pump you up and get you past bankruptcy? What's gonna pump you up and get you to the other doggone side? Come on, you can win.
If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy.
There's people in here far superior than me. But there's no one in here that's gonna work harder than me. We get up at 5:30 in the morning, it's pissing rain outside. Our competition's sleeping. I love that.
I will not be outworked, period. Where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic. While the other guy's sleeping, I'm working. While the other guy's eating, I'm working. Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft. The commodity, the majority of people who aren't achieving the things that they want is strictly based on hustle. It's strictly based on being outworked. It's strictly based on missing crucial opportunities.
You might outwork me for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, but you ain't gonna beat me over a year. You can't outwork me over 2 years. I'm gonna get you eventually. I'm a dripping damn faucet. I just keep coming at you. I'm too damn tough to give up. Most people half-ass their life all the time. I knew they were gonna get tired. They were gonna get down. They quit improving themselves. They start sleeping in. I'm not gonna do that stuff. I'm gonna get up early. I'm gonna keep getting wide. I'm gonna stay relentless.
I might not be the fastest, the strongest, the smartest, none of that crap, but I'll outwork you and I flat out want it more than you. It's relentlessness, man. It's pushing past barriers. It's every time you get somewhere, it's wanting to go to the next level.
You guys are entitled to what you're entitled to is an opportunity to show up and be your best. Everyone's like, oh, Greg, you're lucky. You got this, Greg, you're lucky. Everything you do is luck. Bullshit. Because before it was luck, it was a belief. And every day with no one watching at 5 in the morning by myself, I trained it because I believed in it. In hopes that one day my trained ability collided with an opportunity to show it off. That's what luck is. That's what success is. Nothing subjective in there. It's all you.
You gotta look at how much you're working. You gotta look at how much effort you're making, the intention you're putting out there.
You gotta cross the line in life. You gotta go where nobody else wants to go. You gotta work the hours nobody else wants the hours.
You have to resolve yourself today that you're going to dominate, that you're not average and ordinary. There has to become a point where you make a decision. We're gonna dominate. We're here to win. We are not here to play. And that takes some intestinal fortitude. I'm where I'm at because I just flat decided I'm going to be a player. I decided at some point I get to choose who I am. The world doesn't tell me who I am. I write these chapters.
You don't need the world's permission. You don't need anyone's permission to be great. Only permission you need is from who stares at you back in the mirror every day and a willingness to do the hard work longer, harder, and better than anyone. So what are you going to do? Are you going to buy another success program looking for the secret recipe that doesn't exist? Or are you going to go do something right now and do something that brings you closer to greatness? That's your choice. You're going to have more days you don't want to do something than you are going to want to.
Most days, you're not going to be pumped up. Most days, you're going to feel weak. Most days, you're going to want to stay in bed. Most days, you're going to feel like most people do. But if you do what most people do, which is give yourself reasons to not get the tasks done, not get to work, not get out of bed, you're gonna end up like most people, barely getting by, being unhappy with their lives.
You gotta make a different decision. You gotta decide enough is enough. You've had enough of being average and ordinary. You're tired of being mediocre. You're now gonna push yourself.
It's gonna feel better when it's over. You know that when you get done doing the hard thing, it's gonna feel better. Waking up, working out, taking care of some tedious task. You know you will feel better when it is done. You also know that if you don't do the hard thing, the thing that you don't want to do, that you don't feel like doing, you know if you don't do it, you're going to feel inferior. You know you're going to feel weak. And that feeling, that horrible feeling, you know that feeling too. You know it. You know it's true. Those are the two outcomes. One will cause you some short-term gratification. You'll get to sleep a little bit more. You won't have to put out during a workout. You don't have to do this tedious task. You'll get some short-term gratification, but the long-term regret will be strong, and it will inflict pain on you.
Successful people do one thing more than others. Make movement. They get it done.
While most people are slacking off, relaxing, wasting their time, the winners in the world are putting in work, studying their craft, practicing, running drills on how to perform better, putting in all those extra hours when everyone's already gone home.
And of course, you'll get tired. You'll get worn out. You'll feel exhausted and lazy and not want to work. And you'll have some really, really rough days. But when that happens, you gotta tell yourself, I will not stop. I don't care what I have to go through. I'm gonna get this done, no matter what.
You do what you know you need to do to move forward. And when you do that thing, you know you're gonna feel strong, and you're gonna feel gratified, and you're gonna feel worthy of this life. That's how you're gonna feel when you do what you're supposed to do. Remember that. Remember that the pain right now will absolutely pay off in the future. And the capitulation and the conceding defeat to weakness, that will absolutely result in the pain of regret and remorse later. You know this to be true, so don't allow it. Remember the feeling of victory that comes from doing the right thing, the hard thing. Remember that feeling, and then go get it done.
The work comes before the belief. You're gonna have to do some work, and you're gonna have to keep doing it consistently, even when you're not seeing the results, even when you feel like giving up. And eventually, results will begin to sprout as you do this. And when that happens, you're gonna build faith, build belief in what it is you're doing. You start to realize, hey, I can really do this. This is actually working. And as you work more success sprouts.
You're going to start to create something. You have no motivation, you have no drive, you have no ambition, but you're going to force it to happen anyway because that's what bad do, and that's what you are. You're going to go through day by day by day doing the work regardless of how you feel like it. And then what's going to happen is you're going to see a little bit of a result. And when you see that little bit of result, you're going to get happy. And what's going to happen in your brain is it's going to open up the possibilities for you of what you can actually achieve, because now you can clearly see that if I do the work, this result will happen. And when this result starts to happen, you get excited. And guess what comes with the excitement? The motivation.
The inches we need to become dominant in any field of life are all around us. It's in every task, every project, every mission, every day, every second. When you do the small things, how do you do them? Because if you're putting in 120% in those small tasks, I know for sure you're doing it in everything else.
It's the people who are willing to do twice as much as anyone else. Those are the people who end up winning. You go the extra mile, you push through the extra round, you do those extra reps. That's what defines if you become first or forgotten.
Champions are focused on the goal. They don't have time to be doing stuff that's not going to help them toward the goal. And so what you're focusing on throughout the course of the day, it has to change. What you're looking at, what you're reading, what you're watching, the conversations you have.
You gotta be focused entirely on your dreams, entirely on your goals. When you're great, you don't just focus on a week, you don't just focus on a month, you don't just focus on a year. You concentrate on the 24 hours that's in front of you and work as hard as possible to nail it.
You dominate in the dark, when nobody sees you, when no one knows what you're doing. Those late hours and early mornings where you're working your ass off. Nothing feels better than giving everything you have to the grind.
And a lot of people are confused as to how high drive, high success people can wake up every day and go at it. It's because they know that even if they feel bad, even if they don't feel like doing it, if they push through just a little bit, just a few more days, they're gonna see something that is gonna start to make them feel good. It's gonna give them belief, it's gonna get them motivation, and it's gonna make them feel like doing this is absolutely worth it, and not only worth it, but exciting. So if you're in this phase where it doesn't feel like it's worth it, where it doesn't feel like it's very fun, just remember, if you keep going and you do not let your feelings dictate what your actions will be, the results will always be there.
When you get to sit back and unwind after working yourself to the bone for those goals and dreams, you'll feel a sense of pride you might have never felt before. But you only ever get to that point if you get up and get to work.
The time of year, we try to make our dreams come true. But the reality of all that is sacrifice. And those dreams quickly become nightmares. But in those nightmares are where our demons lie. That's the domain in which they know we don't want to go into all those early mornings. It wakes up all these things that we failed at. Those demons are in those nightmares. That's what keeps us from accomplishing our dreams. So this year, their back is turned to the doorway. Because they know you ain't going into nightmare land, but you're going in there. And when the backs are turned, you're gonna rear naked choke them out, every one of them. That's the mentality you must have, and always have.
People want to find peace immediately. You're going to find peace from going to war with yourself.
Make a declaration to yourself. Declare all out war that you're going to get out of this rut.
We are in control of our mind. We believe it's the other way around. No, we put in our minds what we should do. We have to reprogram it and tell us, no, we're good. This sucks, but it's okay.
If you don't program yourself, life will program you. In order to begin to reinvent your life, you've got to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort. You really have got to put all of yourself into it. It's very challenging to act, to do those things. There are times when you're looking at it and you say, I know I need to do this, but I don't feel like it.
What most of us are looking for is a special feeling of, oh, I feel great this morning. I'm gonna get out of bed and get a quick 5 miles in or go to the gym. You're looking for that feeling. Let me tell you one thing, it ain't gonna come. You have to learn to do when you don't want to do. Learn to bring that savage mentality out of yourself. The animalistic one. You think a savage gets up about how he feels or how she feels? Then just do it. Learn to be your best self when you're least motivated. Stop looking for a feeling to control what goes on in your life.
You should quit quitting. Any path you take to get where you want to be, if that place is worthwhile to go, it's going to be hard. So quit judging your quitting based upon how hard something is, because every single path that you could possibly take to get somewhere where you want to be is going to be hard. Struggle, pain, misery, frustration, those are signs that you are on the right path and making progress. Nobody that is where you want to be has gotten there without these struggles, without the bleeding, without the pain, without the depression, without the misery. Nobody. And if you want to be something great, you are going to have to learn to accept the struggle as part of the recipe. Every single day you need to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what am I willing to do to get what I want? And if the answer is whatever the I have to, you'll get there in time.
You're setting the example every single day of your life. You have to constantly owe that machine. The machine is your mind. You got to keep challenging it every day.
The price of regret is much heavier than the price of discipline. You never want to wake up one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year down the road and go, man, I wish I would have listened to my gut. I wish I would have done this thing. You don't want to live in regret. If there's something you want to get done in work, your relationships, school, whatever it is, do it.
Life is one big head game. And once you learn to play that game, it's no longer a game anymore at all. You can start living your life.
Most people, ladies and gentlemen, are stoppable. Most people, all you have to do is tell them no. All you have to do is make it inconvenient for them. All you have to do is throw some issues and challenges their way, and they give up. They throw in the towel. They surrender.
See, those people don't realize that it goes with the territory. That when you want to grow, when you want to achieve, when you want to experience more, all hell will break loose. Everything that can happen will happen.
It's one thing to believe when you've got money in your pocket. It's one thing to believe when your marriage is working out and you've got your health. It's easy to believe then. But it's another thing when you get that diagnosis that says you're not going to be around much longer. When you lose your job, when someone you thought you'd be with for the rest of your life says, no, we can't do this anymore. That's when you have to dig deep. That's when you got to find something within you that won't be denied.
There is something about you. There is a power within you that regardless of what happens to you, you can stand up inside of yourself and declare, I am going to do it.
You got to get to the point in your life where you say, I have had it. I'm not going to live like this anymore. No, there's got to be more for me. You got to draw the line. You got to say enough is enough, and I'm not going to let anything stop me.
Don't go through life feeling like you're powerless. Victims are people that are powerless. You're not powerless. You're not a victim. You are powerful. In the chaos is an opportunity. If you can learn to harness the pain you're going through, you can rise to the challenge and refuse to allow the chaos around you to determine the conqueror within you.
Resisting the toe to go down and standing fiercely in spite of the opposition and saying, I'm going to do it anyway, but you don't know what's happened to me. It doesn't matter what has happened to you. The only thing that really matters is what are you going to do about it?
I can become upset, nervous, tense about it, weak about it, or I can say, it's okay, I'm gonna make it happen. You can allow it to destroy you, or you can allow it to build you up. You have the power to do that.
Things are gonna happen to you, and the most important thing to do is to harness your will and let it go and move so you can grow, so you can get on with your life. Start working and developing yourself now and prepare yourself for what it is that you want, because you expect to get it.
Courageously hold on to your dream and don't lose enthusiasm. You gotta be out of your mind to believe. In spite of these numbers, you can still make it. You gotta be crazy. Yes, you must be crazy. The crazy people are the only ones who change the world and do the impossible. You gotta believe in your heart of hearts that in spite of the pain you're feeling, you can still come back again. It doesn't matter how many times I fail. I'm gonna courageously pursue it. I don't care what people say. I don't care what they think. This is something that I want that gives my life meaning and value.
You've got to learn how not to give up and how not to give in. And you got to understand that greatness is within you and you got to pull it out. When life's putting the pressure on you, you have to learn to bolt every escape hatch closed in your mind and don't allow yourself a way out. You got to find a way or make a way.
It's okay to cry, it's okay to go home, it's okay to take a break, but quitting should never be an option. The weakness is in your mind, out to worry you to death, out to stress you to death, out to break you down, out to make you quit, out to make you think that you can't get up, out to make you give up on your dream.
The war takes place in your own head. It's not in your savings account. It's not in your job. The fight that you've got to fight is in your mind. And if you can get it out of your head, you can get it out of your job. You can get it out of your finances. You can get all the self-pitying and victimizing thoughts out of your entire life.
If you don't like where you're at, don't worry about it. This is just a chapter. Don't like how you feel right now? It's okay. It's just a chapter.
Why are you up all night, stressed, worried, and weeping over one chapter in your life?
This isn't the end of your story. The last chapter of your life hasn't been written yet. You still have more to go. You can still turn things around. And it doesn't matter what happened yesterday or the day before. What matters is, what are you doing right now to make your life better? What steps are you taking right now to improve yourself and your situation? We can't control what has happened, but we can control what we do now. You have full control over yourself and your ability to work on yourself and get better at whatever you're doing.
The difficulties you're facing right now aren't there to stop you from living your dream. They're there to push you onto another level. They will help make you into the person you want to be. Don't run away from the hardship like most people do. Step toward it, face it head on, and be willing to wrestle with it to get what you want.
This world is always going to give you scars, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. Many people try to hide their scars. No, you should wear those scars as a badge of honor. They show what you've overcame, what you've faced and beaten, because only the toughest people make it through to the other side where success is. And you are tough. You are cut from a different cloth.
And you got to see yourself capable and worthy of living a life of greatness, a life of peace. Say to yourself, I'm going to do it. I'm coming out of this. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know what I'm going to have to go through. I don't know what I'm going to lose along the way. But I am going to make it through this.
I've been broke, busted, and disgusted, but I still believe that I am coming out of this mess. No matter what it takes, I'm going to do it.
What is the common denominator of failure? Why are you failing? You never say because of me. Oh, it's the competition. If you wake up tomorrow morning and blame your failure on someone or something else, you have no reason to change, do you? But if you woke up in the morning and looked in the mirror and said, I am failing because of me, the decisions that I make, the energy I put in, I'm not passing the blame. If you look in the mirror tomorrow and say that, you will change. Because nobody likes thinking of themselves as a failure.
Winners win and losers lose. And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep being a victim, if you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture.
Take ownership. Take ownership of everything in your world, the good and the bad. Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing. Take ownership of your mistakes. Take ownership of your shortfalls. Take ownership of your problems. And then take ownership of the solutions that will get those problems solved. Take ownership of your job, of your team, of your future, and take ownership of your life.
All I need you to do is speak up and say, I expect to win. Declare that it's over. That yesterday was the last day that you were a loser. Like yesterday was the last day you expected to come up short. When you set out for a goal, expect it to happen. Expect to be successful. Expect it to be positive. If you can expect it, if you can wake up feeling like a winner, if you can wake up talking like a winner, if you can expect that everything you do will come out winning, I guarantee you, you never ever have to come up short again.
It's not easy, but through practice and practice and practice, practice makes improvement. You can always better your best. You can always go beyond anything that you have ever done. You'll never hit a state of perfection. You're always bigger than what you do. And so all you're looking for are new breakthroughs through practice and practice and practice. You'll get better and better and better.
It might be year 2, 3, 4 before you get your big win, but you could decide now, I'm gonna walk, talk, and be a different person. You decide that. You're the lead character in the story of your life. Everything has to do with you intending to win. Too many of you are playing with your business. If you make that shift, I'm going to win. We're gonna play to win now. We're not playing to play. We're not playing to see how we do. We're not playing for fun. Once you start getting some winning, you start changing. You talk different, you walk different. All of a sudden, this isn't the same damn human being. You can change you. You'd be surprised what a little winning would do. You'd be surprised how good you'd be if you just decide to win. Be number 1 in your office, number 1 in your region. And when you start stacking them up, your life can change.
When nobody's watching, in those early mornings, when it's dark, it's wet, it's cold, you feel tired, you feel sore, it's warm on the couch, what do you do then?
I know everybody ain't gonna do what I'm gonna do. This is how you level up. I know there's a whole bunch of people with that right there. That fires me up. That brings joy in my life right there. Because I know there's so many people that have the ability and just refuse to get off that couch. refuse to study a few more hours, refuse to go deeper, to go further. And that's where I gain the advantage.
No one goes the extra mile and keeps going.
I feel like this next generation that's coming up, they seem like a bunch of pussies to me.
It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak. Most people don't want to go that extra mile. Most people don't want to find that extra because it sucks. It's miserable. It's lonely. Now I thrive in that. That's the only place to be.
There's never been more opportunity than there is right now. If you're a savage and you get out there and you grind hard and you want it bad enough, you can run all these guys over, man.
I was never the strongest guy. I'm not the fastest guy. Not the smartest guy. But I will work, and I will work hard.
I'll never be in the Olympics. I'll never be a professional athlete. But still I grind. I fail at most things I do, but still I grind. I don't want to do half the shit I do, but still I grind. And that one day, you see me down a dark alley, running at 1 o'clock in the morning, know one thing. I was grinding.
I will be up when my competitor's asleep. I will be up when my enemy is curled up in bed. I will be up getting after it.
If you can't right now, there's no one looking, man.
If no one was looking, I had a chance to sneak in some extra work. To do a little bit more while no one's looking. They'll think I'm better than I am. So I recommend you do that right now. No one's looking, you're home alone, do more!
Do I like the long hours? No. Do I like having to watch a game at 3 o'clock in the morning? No. But I have to be prepared because I'm addicted to the result.
If today you never say good enough, tomorrow you'll always have enough. Championships aren't won in the theater or the arena. They're won in the thousands of hours in the training room, the labs, and the 5 a.m. runs, and then it's raining when everyone else is sleeping. That's when it's won. The heart of a champion is a light switch that's always on. It doesn't go on and off when someone's watching. It's constant. Champions aren't found on the podium with their hand up. No, champions are found in the lab studies, the thousands of hours of hard work when no one's watching. That's what makes the will unstoppable. When you're here and no one else is, and you're pushing yourself harder than anybody with no one around. It's how you look at something. If your name's attached to it, then you do it right. The best of your ability every single time. If you're dusting your countertops, do you dust around the picture frame, or do you pick the up and dust the entire thing? Do the job right or don't do it at all. That's the same person who has his hand raised on the podium one day.
How you hold yourself in the small things of life. Build the character-winning blocks of the things that we're remembered for. And it begins now with no one looking. How you hold yourself. How you see yourself. What do you do when nobody's watching? If you do it then, I guarantee you'll be doing it when everyone's watching.
Execute, execute, execute. And that's what people don't do. They don't execute. Making a freaking plan is the easy part. And you have to understand, if you don't execute on the plan, if you don't get up in the morning when you're feeling tired, scared, if you don't execute, you're not just cheating yourself. You're cheating your family. You're cheating your employees. You're cheating your team. Whatever you're a part of, it's bigger than you, man. Nobody wants to do it. That's the thing. When you look at someone and you say that man or that woman has something that I don't have, nobody woke up with it. They got it from showing up every day and executing. And especially when they don't feel like it. You think that this just happens. You think, I'm going to show up, I'm going to put in my time, and then I'm going to be rich. And that ain't what happens.
Everyone's always looking for other people to do stuff for them. Stop looking for help from everybody else. It starts and ends with you. You've got to do more. You've got to become valuable. You've got to understand that what you get paid to do is the minimum. And everything on top of that is your investment in your future. So if you're going to stand out, don't do the same thing that everybody else is doing.
Separate yourself. You playing against other teams and you doing exactly what they're doing. Separate yourself. Stop doing what they doing. If you stop doing what they doing, you're going to be a champion. Stop following. No more following. No more doing what everybody else is doing. Set the doggone standards. It's time for y'all to set the standard.
If you decide that my life deserves my developing this what I do well, and becoming the best at it and mastering myself and seeing what I have within me, I grant you that your gifts will take you places that will literally amaze you. All of us need some area of our lives where we can have a feeling of competence. That people know when they think about this area, that's something you do. That you eat and sleep that. And that you do that. You do that. And people know it. If you begin to work to develop your gifts, you'll develop a strong sense of happiness. You'll get a larger vision of yourself.
The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender.
Everything you do it like this is the last time you're gonna do it.
If you're in bed right now and you're rolling around, you can't fall asleep, get the probably means you haven't done an honest day's work to earn that rest at night. I can put an honest day's work in here like more than anyone does in a week, and no one sees it because it's supposed to be that way. This is the means to the ends. It's not the ends. And you're not in here to get an achievement. You're in here to pay your dues so later in life you never wonder what it.
You know what you got to do to get to paradise? You got to fight like get to paradise. The ones that can fight, the ones that come back, those are the ones that succeed. Those are the icons of the world. There's many legends out there. There's very few icons.
Do I want to be here right now? No, I don't want to be here right now. I'm much rather be home watching the game. But later down the road, I don't want to always watching the f***ing game. One day I want to play the game. So by being here now ensures that I'm not going to be a spectator for the rest of my life. That's why I love the f***ing pain and progress.
It is the process of the grind that shapes you and forms you. It's not the game. And that's why most of y'all get beat in the game or make mistakes in the game, because you think grinding is what happens when the sun comes out. You think grinding is what happens when the lights come on. You think grinding is what happens when people get in the stage. That's not grind. The real grind is in the dark when nobody sees you, when nobody knows what you're doing, when you studying without coach, when you putting in those extra reps, when you watching those videos and you getting inspired, when you change your music. It's the process that makes you sweet.
With success, many will love you. The majority will despise you. And why is that? Because your success is shining down their missed opportunities. When they didn't put all those thousands of hours in the lab with no one watching, so when the opportunity did come to show off what they've mastered and trained, they weren't ready for it. They were in a self-control state, and they watched it go live, hoping it comes again. I don't know if it comes again.
What do you do about the negative person talking behind your back and trying to bring you down? Ignore and outperform.
Use it for fuel. Use it for energy. You got to block out them haters, man. You got to block out them naysayers. Use everything this world has to give you for fuel. So I want some action. That means when you wake up in the morning, there's 24 hours in a day. After you finish sleeping, I'm telling you to spend the rest of that time in action. And you're going to separate yourself from everybody. Why? Because most people, all they doing is talk, 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 talk.
You don't get to be number one by doing just enough. You gotta have a level of dedication that no one else is willing to have. And you gotta want it more than anyone else does.
If a person leaves at 6, you leave at 8. If a person makes 100 calls a day, you make 200 calls a day. If somebody practices 3 hours, you practice 5 hours. If somebody practices 6 hours, you practice 8 hours. If someone reads 2 books, you read 4 books. Just do a little bit more.
You are going against the cultural norm of average, the cultural norm of sitting, the cultural norm of all of this average. When you go against that, you are going to naturally have resistance.
We have 80% more that we're not tapping into, because in this other 80% is suffering, pain, failure, darkness, and then a whole bunch of light. But to get to this light, you gotta go through all of this.
If you really want your dream to become a reality, you need to give it up and go all in. And you are not here because you are still not all in. When you give effort, don't give no 70% later. You give 120%. Extreme effort. Why? Because I'm counting on me. My wife's counting on me. I don't have days to waste. You're not giving 120. You're giving 60. You're giving 50. And you want what these people who've given sweat, who's giving blood, who's giving tears, you want what they paid for, and it ain't free. When I put forth 120% effort, can't nobody stop me. You can't be good and be a legend. You can't be great and be a legend. You gotta be phenomenal. I want you to push for legend. Your problem is, if the conditions are great, you great. When everything is favorable, you a beast. But when the conditions ain't right, you get smacked in the face. You gotta grow up.
You chase on about the greats, we find a way to make it happen.
The hard life is the one that pays. You just gotta quit being so fucking weak.
You gotta be a morning person, afternoon person, night person. You gotta be when you feel good person, when you sick person, when you tired person. Can you give me 120 and despite everything that's going on, greatness is in you. But the problem is, somebody's gotta push you. Somebody's gotta give you a reward. Somebody's gotta prod you. You're not self-motivated. You have to stay in beast mode. You don't get here by quitting when you're tired. You get here by quitting when you finish, when you're done. You don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done. You stop when you complete it, when you execute it. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. Every single day, if you do what you said you're gonna do, you're gonna get what you dreamed to get. You gotta execute. You gotta execute. Execution is worship. If you want 120% results, then in every single area you're looking for this dream or this goal to become a reality, you gotta put forth the effort. I didn't get here being lazy. I didn't get here binge watching TV. I didn't get here taking days off. I didn't get here off being smart. I didn't get here being talented. I got here off that dog. I never quit. I never stopped. I never gave up. We just kept doing what we doing. You got skill and you got will. Two total different things. You were born with certain things, but to get to the next level, to stay at the next level, you gotta have will. You have to compete. Every single game, you can give the same effort every game. This has everything to do with trial. You gotta take pride in that.
Your level of urgency and effort will dictate the level of changes you'll see.
Each level of hustle, of will, of action, of work is going to get you to a certain level, and then you're going to require more. It's going to take you evolving. You're going to have to expand. You're going to have to think differently. You're going to have to do different things. You're going to have to put in more work. You're going to have to read more. You're going to have to educate yourself more. You're going to have to do things that are going to help you create a new you.
See, it's easy to be on the bottom. It doesn't take any effort to be a loser. It doesn't take any motivation, any drive in order to stay down there on a low level. But it calls on everything in you, ladies and gentlemen. You have to harness your will to say, I'm going to challenge myself.
I just want you to go a little harder, put forth a little bit more energy, give me a little bit more effort. You keep going. You keep studying. You keep writing. You keep singing. You keep rapping. You keep boxing. You keep dribbling. You just keep on keeping on. It's your life. You are the captain of your ship. You are the master of your life. You can have it. You can do it. You can be it.
Make a list, execute the list, do that every single day for the next 10 years, and you will be where you want to be.
Most people live in this nice, comfortable place that makes them feel really good. And they always ask, how do I become hard? You sure as don't become hard by living that way. You have to take yourself out of your comfort zone and bury yourself in something that makes you feel so horrible that you have to see how your mind's thinking in that horrible situation and overcome it while you're in.
If you want to live in paradise, you gotta fight to get to paradise. There is no easy road.
When I was losing the weight, I had to miserably wake up every morning in the cold. This is your new life. It sucks. It just sucks. And it's gonna continue to suck. Because to get to where you wanna go, there's gonna be more times you do something that you don't wanna do than you are gonna wanna do it. And that's your new norm. My new norm is you get up every morning at 4 o'clock and you suffer. That became my life. Most people wanna get out of it. This is your new life. This is who you are. You have to say, you, I run this.
When you feel that, step it up. Push harder. Make yourself get out of the comfort zone and get into the combat zone where you have to fight, where you have to dig deep, where strength and power and fortitude are found.
I don't want to live this lifestyle, but to get to the other side of this, I have to. That's how you start to callous your mind. So that became my life. It's going to suck. It's not going to be fun. Do something that sucks every single day of your life. That's how you grow. Embrace the suck.
When life is over for you, I need you to die on E. I don't want you to have one idea left in you. I don't want one dream left in you. When you die, I want you to go for broke. Every book you were supposed to write, every degree you were supposed to get, everything you were supposed to accomplish. When you die, don't go to the grave with nothing. I want you to give everything you got, full potential. I want you to get everything out your system, because most people that are alive are living on neutral. So I want you to get out of neutral and put it in drive.
You get out of bed when it's cold, when it's early, and go for a run. Commit to one day and see how you feel as you're jogging it back in around 5 or something, and your neighbor's just getting up, grabbing the coffee, looking outside, wondering, what the day's gonna hold for them. Well, your day's already provided something for you. And then you go about your day at work, and your coworker's like, "What happened to old Greg, man? This is a new. Who's this?" That's right. They're here to stay and get on my plan or get my way. When everybody else says, "No, this is not comfortable, we shouldn't do this," you say, "Yeah, I'm gonna introduce myself to it."
I will my way through every situation, every trial, every tribulation. I will my way through it. I don't care if you fail the boards, go again. I don't care if you fail the law exam, go again, will your way through it. Some things you can skill yourself through, some stuff you gotta will your way through. You're still living off talent. Average people live off talents. Phenomenal people live off efforts. If you will be a champion, if you will be a beast, you're gonna have to go through something. Ain't nobody gonna hand you nothing. Ain't nobody gonna hand you no championship. Ain't nobody gonna hand you no title.
You have to develop a doggedness in order to make it. You gotta have some toughness in you. And the only way to develop toughness is you gotta practice being tough. And you cannot practice being tough by quitting every time you get tired, by stopping every time you don't feel like it, by giving up every time you get challenged. That's what's wrong with people now. People don't make it because they always give up when it get hard. It's so challenging now. They was talking about me. I feel weak. I'm tired. Life don't give a damn about you being tired.
In life, there's a lot of things we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be our best. We're supposed to get up early. We're supposed to work out. We're supposed to be uncomfortable. We're supposed to do all these things that people are now looking for coming back.
You got to get about the business now. You want to be successful, you got to get at it. You gonna stop all this soft shooting and all that mess, man. You got to get at it. You got to tear their mouth out.
I don't see failure. I see grit, determination, drive, sacrifice. Failure means you're trying. A whole bunch of people out here never fail because they never try. I don't look at it as failure. I look at it as my first, second, third attempt.
The skill of mental toughness is a skill that you must have. And when you have a day that isn't going your way, that's a gift. And it's a gift because you get to test yourself. And when you pass the test and you got through the day and you push yourself through, even if you had to drag yourself through every step of that day, when you get through that day and you look in the mirror and you say, "Pass that test." Nobody can. That's a powerful thing. And you make a deposit into your psyche that reminds you of how bad you really are. Nobody's gifted with it. It's developed. They are perishable skills, meaning if you don't invest in them, they will go away. If you invest in them, they will get stronger. Just like all the muscles in your body, when you test them, they get stronger. Your life is no different. Your brain is no different. So the next time you have one of these days, which just isn't going your way, remind yourself that it's an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to test yourself. It's an opportunity to know what you're actually made of. This sort of thinking is what champions do.
One thing in life that's for sure, the value always wins. Always, always. Embrace the suck, adapt to the suck.
While other people are chilling, while other people are taking days off, while other people are relaxing, while other people are taking a break, telling themselves, "All right, I've done enough now, I can rest," I am still grinding. I am still working as hard as possible to become the very best version of me.
And that doesn't happen when it's showtime and all eyes are on you. No. Greatness is created in the dark, when no one's around. In those early mornings, in those late nights, where you're grinding away in silence.
A real man in the dark, when nobody's watching, he putting in work. A real man, when coach ain't even watching, he's studying film on his own, because he loves the process.
The reason why you're not having success and you're not able to raise the bar and keep raising it, you're not taking ownership of it. You're not devoted to it. You've not given a certain amount of time or your energy to a specific thing. And it don't work if you have doing it. And a part of success is just totally devoting yourself to it. You gotta own it. You gotta adore it. I want you to love school this time. Don't worry about your grades. I want you to love to read. That's all I'm asking you to do. Just, can you love reading? And I want you to love the process.
When a lion is born, it's not a lion. When a lion is born, it's a cub. You know what makes it look the way it look? How does a lion look like that, but a giraffe don't look like that? He's chasing the food. So it is the process of hunting. It's not the actual meat that makes him look like that. It is the actual hunt. It's the actual chasing. So whether he catch it or not, every time he goes on the hunt, he's developing. Because real lions like to hunt. They love the process just as much as they love the prize. And some of y'all just want to score. You don't like the process. You're not in love with the process. Some of y'all so caught up on the game that you don't get it. It is in practicing. It is in lifting weights. It is in resting. It is in eating right. It is in making good decisions that you look a certain way. It is how you practice. It is what you do that makes you look like you look. It is the process of the grind that shapes you and forms you. It's not the game. And that's why most of y'all get beat in the game or make mistakes in the game, because you think grinding is what happens when the sun comes out. You think grinding is what happens when the lights come on. You think grinding is what happens when people get in the stage. That's not grind. The real grind is in the dark when nobody sees you, when nobody knows what you're doing, when you studying without coach, when you putting in those extra reps, when you watching those videos and you getting inspired, when you change your music. It has everything to do with what time you wake up. It has everything to do with how you eat. It has everything to do with how you work out, how you prepare. It has every single thing to do with how you think. I want you to fall in love with the process, because once you can fall in love with the process, there's nothing you can't do, because everything you have to do, there's a process to it. It's the process that makes you sweet. When I'm gonna get paid for speaking? When you put in the time. When I'm finally gonna pass this test? When you put in the time. When my marriage gonna get better? When you put in the time. Don't rush the process. Trust the process. Don't rush the process. Trust the process. You say you wanna be great. You say you wanna get to the next level. You say you wanna be dominant, and all you do is talk, talk, talk. You talk too much. Shut up. Don't tell me. Write it down. Look at it. Get yourself in the lab. Go to work and show me. Show me what you got. Show me every single opportunity you get, every chance you get. I need you to grind. And I need you to grind on the little stuff. Do all your homework. Take every test. Wash the dishes and wash the dishes 100%. Mop the floor and mop it 100%. Go to work and do your work. Don't just go to work when you feel like it. Go to work every single day. Work on it every day. Even when you down and out, even when you're not feeling it, still do it. Just be consistent.
The greatest version of you is the disciplined version of you. It's the version that has parameters. No, I don't do that. I don't drink that. I don't go there with these people. I'm focused. I have a prize that's in front of me. I know what I'm supposed to do, and that ain't it. I have to stay right here.
Normal people are gonna call you weird. Let them be the ones who go out and party, get drunk, get high. You keep grinding. You work for a better future.
Outwork and outperform every last one of them. While you're over there watching me and talking about me, I'm working. I'm working hard. I'm taking things to the next level. You keep gossiping, I'll keep working. You keep talking smack, I'll keep working. You keep chattering about things, I'll keep working.
You put in the work that no one else is willing to do, because most people in the world are lazy. It is hard, and that is why you will achieve things that other people will never achieve.
Championships aren't won in the theater or the arena. They're won in the thousands of hours in the training room, the labs, and the 5 a.m. runs, and it's raining, whenever else is sleeping. That's when it's won.
We talk about doing stuff in the dark so that when it's showtime, when the lights come on, you have prepared and you're ready for that opportunity.
Let them laugh at you now. Let them talk now. Let them say whatever they want to say. You're overworking, you're working too hard, you're doing too much. They will see it as ridiculous, and you will see it as necessary. Because at the end of the year, at the end of the next decade, however long it takes for you to get where you want to go, you will be the last one laughing.
Several people live to be 100 years old, and they have great lives. But somewhere in their life, they had a decision to make. They can go left or right on this path. Left was the easy route. Right was the hard route. A lot of people take the easy route, but the better life was going to the right side.
Because many of us are cuffed to convenience. Comfort and convenience is killing your calling. Your plan will not be convenient.
If you want to be ordinary, you ain't even got to listen to me. If you think ordinary's cool, just go on about your business. But if you are sitting in this room and you have extraordinary aspirations, then you're gonna have to do extra. You put extra on top of ordinary and you come up with extraordinary. It's no other way. All of you have extraordinary capabilities, all of you. You have to decide if you are willing to do the things to put you in that category.
You have to struggle. The bigger the struggle, the bigger the peace. The bigger the suffering, the more peace.
If dreams were easy, everybody would make them happen. The problem is that most people, they can't get up in the morning. They ain't got no energy. Most people that I'm with, they don't got the energy to keep up with me. I'm like, boo, ain't nothing wrong with you. You just ain't got the stamina. You just ain't got the energy. You can't smart everything. You can't outthink everything. Some stuff is just, you gotta be powerful. You just too slow. It just take you too long. You wake up, take you 3 weeks to do what it can take 24 hours to do. It don't make you a bad person, but you're gonna forever be average, because to be great, you got to keep up. I'm shocked more people are on beast mode. There are people who living from check to check and they comfortable. It's the weirdest thing to me. I'm like, boo, you broke.
Some of you broke and you still entertained. You ain't got no money and you sitting here complaining about, but then you watching all the TV programs.
You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you? You need to put yourself on punishment. You need to tell you no more TV, no more snacks, no more desserts. No, we working out now. I want you to ask yourself, why aren't you putting more effort forward? Why aren't you getting A's in math? You can. Why aren't you getting A's in English? You can.
You got to look at that man or that woman in the mirror and say, hey, get serious. You've been seriously not serious. You've been wasting valuable time. Get serious. Take control of yourself. You don't have the luxury of being reckless or procrastinating or putting things off. Come on, you got work to do.
Unless you number one in your industry, you shouldn't be chilling. And if you number one in your industry, you got enough common sense to know you better not be chilling. So I need that dog.
Every time something good happens to me, I don't get satisfied. I get hungry.
When I put forth 120% effort, can't nobody stop me. I didn't get here off being smart. I didn't get here being talented. I got here off that dog. I got that dog. I got that grind. And whatever I put my mind to, I can do.
Expand yourself. Take yourself out your comfort zone. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful. Start putting some pressure on. Put some pressure on yourself.
Most people want it easy. Easy come, easy go. See, but when you handle those hard things close at hand, making those hard decisions right now that you don't want to make, learning those things that you don't like to do. You do what it is you're supposed to. You're supposed to build something. You're supposed to create something. I don't know how to do it. Learn. Do whatever is required.
You're gonna have to suffer, man. To grow, you must suffer. I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna fail. And I will succeed.
If you stay in bed, if you stay on the couch, if you stay in your comfort zone, if you only do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, if you get up, if you grind, if you are relentless, if you work as hard as possible, when other people are slacking off, your life will be easy.
If you're willing to take the harder way, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it.
Everybody's living off the hope factor. They hope the water was never cold. They hope the weather was good. I don't live off that hope. I wish the water was cold. I wish it rained.
Whenever anything is challenging, whenever anything sucks, good. I like it. It's gonna give me a good story to tell, it's gonna toughen my mind, and it's gonna make us stronger.
It's your trial, it's your tribulation that's gonna get you out your comfort zone. It's your trial, it's your tribulation that's gonna take you to the next level.
When the end is unknown and the distance is unknown, that's when you know what you are.
When you're working out and you wanna die, feel the pain happening in your legs as you rep out one more squat, because it'll be all the more pleasurable when you reach the other end where you're relaxing. Boy, I really went hard on that set. I really went hard in school. I really went hard in my career. I really went hard in life.
I turn around in exhaustion, salute my former self that was right there. Proud of it. Yeah, I'm tired. I gave it his all to ensure that right now I got the most out of it.
I realized I was on the right path because it stopped being easy. I'm exhausted. I'm tired, but I'm not going to complain because I asked for this. So I'm going to smile with tired eyes and realize that everything I'm doing on a daily basis is for a reason.